Hello friends, and welcome back to Towne Yoga. Today I have a little bit of a cold, a light cold. It's not terrible, but I don't feel great. I feel a little bit achy, a little bit tight, a little bit tired. So this will be a very gentle yoga practice that I'll share with you, and it would be great if it's a day where you're feeling a little tight, a little achy, a little tired, maybe a cold, maybe just a long week. One of the other things that makes me feel better is pairing my practice with some music. So I'm going to listen to a three-song Spotify playlist that's about 15 minutes long. If you'd like to join me and listen to the same playlist, go ahead and find the link to that below, and you can play it along with the video. And I will cue you in a few seconds when I hit play so you can know to hit play. So maybe pause and set that up if you'd like to listen along with me. If you'd like no music, or maybe you're going to play your own music, that's great. You will enjoy just the same. We'll just be moving the same way to some different songs, maybe in a different way, and have our own beautiful harmony. With that, I'm going to start this practice laying down on our backs, nice and relaxed on the ground. And once I get there, I'll let you know to start the playlist if you're joining along, and I'll put that time below afterwards as well, so you just know what time in the video to hit it. And we're just laying down on our backs with our toes up, your shoulders resting, head down. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play right now. And slowly begin to settle into our practice by finding comfort as you lay here. Maybe that's just flat on your back with your feet naturally splayed and your palms up by your sides. Maybe that doesn't feel great in your lower back and you choose to plant your feet wider than your hips and let your knees fall in together. Palms up or down. Maybe you'd like to open the thighs a bit by bringing the soles of your feet together, knees out wide into a bit of a butterfly. And just finding comfort in your body. Maybe you flow between those postures or make one up. That's your own. As you settle into your practice here, I invite you to take a few deep breaths, drawing air in through your nose as you feel your chest and belly rise, pausing at the top before you exhale all the air out, just letting go, pausing a bit at the bottom before taking another mindful cycle of breath. Noticing each of the 4 parts. And maybe your nose is a little stuffed and you choose to breathe through your mouth instead. That can feel great. Especially if you sigh out a few exhales through your mouth, just letting everything go. Without any rush, you just begin to drop a little deeper into your body. Maybe feeling your breath a little more intently, expanding and contracting with your inhales and exhales. Letting go of tension that's built up. As you turn your attention in towards your body, you might notice your mind start to quiet a bit. Letting go of the planning and the reviewing and just coming into the present moment. Take one more big round of breath here, opening your mouth and just sighing out a nice relaxing exhale, maybe 1, 2, or 3 times. And we'll start with some gentle movement in our hips. As you inhale, draw your knees up towards your armpits, maybe towards your chest with a hand on each shin. And just gently rock side to side for a moment, massaging out your back. And then as you find stillness, you'll slide your hands up to your knees. And then just moving your thigh bones around in your hip sockets. Maybe you circle the knees out and in a few times. Maybe you create your own path. You're just lubricating the hip joint by moving the thigh bones around. Finding just a moment of stillness before we bring our attention to our knee joint. And as you inhale, just reach your feet up towards the sky, straightening at your knees. And as you exhale, bend them back in towards your torso. Inhaling up, exhaling down a few times. And then the next time you inhale your legs straight, we'll just slide our hands to the outside of our legs. And as you inhale, draw your toes back to your shins. And exhale, point them to the sky. Inhale, drawing back. Exhale, pointing up. And just take a few more breaths, moving at your pace. And then our ankle sometimes has some side-to-side movement. So as you draw your toes back to your shins, separate your feet apart. And then draw a few circles, just moving through space, exploring your range of motion with a gentle stretch. Maybe rotate the thigh bones a bit here. And then find stillness, bending your knees into your chest as you set your heels down just in front of your hips, maybe a little bit wider, and then let your knees come in towards each other to relax a bit through your pelvis, feeling your low back broaden. We'll bring our attention to our upper body now. As you inhale, just reach your fingers up to the sky. Give them a little wiggle. Begin to circle at the wrists. And then bend your elbows, interlace your fingers, and turn your palms away from your body as you gently press up, stretching through your palms and the inside of your arms. And then you'll slowly and gently separate your fingers apart, turning your palms to face the front of you as you bend your elbows out wide. Just bending at that elbow joint. Inhale, reaching back up. Exhale, out wide. Inhale up. This time turn the palms in towards each other and cross your left over right as you give yourself a hug, rounding through your shoulder blades. Inhaling back up to the sky. Exhale right over left as you give yourself a big hug. And then inhale back up. Let your fingers dance through the air for a little bit again. And then slowly open your arms out wide, maybe to a T. Maybe you bend at your elbows to rest the back of your arms on the earth. Yogi's choice as you just find a little open heart here. Slowly begin to reach your arms overhead. And then the legs out straight. Just take a nice big end-to-end stretch. And then you'll just slowly bend your heels in towards your bum. So you can turn off to one side, letting your top palm come to the earth to press you up. My dog is sound asleep right now. And as you come into a comfortable seat, take the time to find a long spine. So if you're sitting here and trying to cross your ankles and you feel rounding through your back or your pelvis tilting back, then just put something underneath your hips, maybe a blanket or two or a pillow, a block, something to just lift you up. So you can start to find your hip bones underneath your shoulder and kind of the natural curves of your spine. And a big breath out whenever you like. And then from here, I'll invite us into a few torso circles. As you exhale, let your chin come down towards your chest as you round back through your spine. On your next inhale, sweep out to the side before sending your heart forward. Exhaling around and back. Inhale off to the side and forward. Exhaling around and back. And just enjoy a few circles at your breath pace, taking your own path, pausing whenever it feels good, or just flowing the whole time. It's your practice. And whenever it feels natural, maybe with a rounded spine, you can just switch directions and take a few circles the opposite way. Honoring this unique side, which is going to feel a little different, maybe needs a different path. And then slowly finding a bit of stillness, a nice long spine. We're just going to move our shoulders a little bit as you inhale, reaching forward like you're giving a hug. Let your chin come to your chest. On your next inhale, open your heart, drawing your elbows back like a little squeeze, palms facing in. And then exhale, round. Inhale, drawing back, open heart. One more time at your breath pace. And then as you turn your palms up, just reach your hands out wide. And then exhale down to your heart center. Just taking a little bow, a short breath. And as you release your hands down and your gaze up, we'll make our way into a tabletop. I like to take feet off to one side so that it's easier to walk forward to hands and knees. And I'll be placing a blanket underneath my knees. You might like to put one underneath yours as well for a bit of comfort. And I'll invite you to come towards the top of your mat if you're using a yoga mat, or just have some clear space behind you. So we're going to step our feet back in a little bit. So for tabletop, you want to find your hands and knees on the mat, on the ground, with a little cushion underneath. And a spread to your fingers as you stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and then the tops of your feet rest on the mat, giving a little stretch into that joint. And we're going to take a few cat-cows here, very popular yoga flow because it feels so great. As you exhale, press away from your mat, rounding your spine. Become a rainbow as the back of your neck lengthens, you look behind you. Your tailbone tucks under as you kind of hollow through your back. And then inhale, reverse that rainbow, send your belly down, lift your chin and your chest up. Let your tailbone tip up as you kind of arch your spine. And we'll take this flow with our breath as you exhale round into a cat pose, a cat spine. And as you inhale, arch down into a cow pose or a cow spine. And just take a few breaths here without any stress of doing it right or wrong, because in this flow, you're really just exploring. We'll take one more full round of cat-cow. And then pause for just a moment of stillness with a nice neutral spine. Come on down to your forearms with your palms facing the earth, your elbows kind of under your shoulders, maybe a little wider. And you're just going to step your right foot back, tucking your toes under as you just press to your heel. And you can just press back into your arms, through your arms into your heel. And maybe rock a few times, opening the bottom of your right foot and the back of your right leg. And then you just lift your right heel, bend your knee, and draw a circle or two with your right hip before setting it down. And then stepping your left foot back, tucking the toes under so you can press back through your heel. Rocking a few times. Feeling the bottom of that foot and the back of the left leg stretch. And then bend your knee and draw a few circles. And as you set your left knee down, we'll end our practice just here in a child's pose, with our knees out wide, big toes together, and the hips back to your heels. And maybe you bring your head down to the mat. Maybe you place your fists underneath, or even a pillow, as you relax here for as long as it feels good. And you can stay in that child's pose as long as needed. But I'd like to take a moment to say thank you for joining me in this very gentle flow. A good one for when you have a cold. And if you listened along to the playlist, I hope you enjoyed our very relaxing music today. I'm going to bring hands to heart center, bowing head down to fingertips, to let you know that the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.